Hey friends, so in previous video we seen how to install the Node.js and how we can generate a Angular project from CLI. So we generated this project from CLI, and now we will see the structure of the project. So you will see, like, when you generated this, it generated too many files, too many folders, and this is too confusing. So we will go and see what are the responsibilities of each folder and each file in this video. So here I will start with like package.json. So what is package.json? So if this is your first Angular project and you haven't worked on the Angular projects before, I'm just trying to compare this with the Maven. So as you have like pom.xml, in pom.xml you will define something, like you will define your build strategies, you will define your test strategies, and then you will define all the dependencies. So you can see, as we are using Angular 7, you can see it's saying @Angular animations, and the version is 7.0.0. So it is the same like a Maven. You will install the plugins and you will give the dependency. Here we have pom.xml. Whenever we are doing npm install, whenever we will fire this command npm install, it will install your package.json. So whenever you're running npm install, you should run in a folder where you have your package.json, which is a root folder. So to build this workspace, what you want to do, like we are doing a Maven install there. I'm just comparing, but if you guys are aware of Maven, I'm just comparing with it Maven. So in Maven, as you are doing a Maven install, it will go and it will install all the dependencies. Same here, we are doing a npm install. So when you will do a npm install, you can see it will create a node module here, and in this node module you can see this, it will download all your dependencies to the local. So you can just navigate here and you can see, okay, what is this? So to navigate to the node modules, you can right click on it, you can say reveal in explorer, and it will bring this thing to you, and this is your project actually, and this is node modules. And I haven't did it -g anywhere, it's not a global, so that's why its node modules are here. And you can see you have all the modules here. This is the Angular. So Angular has CDK, animations, CLI, and if I will go, then all these like are the dependent. So this is, you can think of, Angular gave us a base project to start. So we do not have to start from scratch here. So let's start from the first folder, E2E. Let me show you this folder in the last. So we will discuss this E2E. This is for end-to-end testing actually. So we will discuss this folder in last. We have seen the node modules. It will contain all the dependencies. Source. Now what is a source here? And oh sorry, I think I opened the wrong window. What is a source here, and what files is contained in this source? So let me close this. There is the other one. Just give me a second, I'm trying to pull the other project on this. So I think I swapped into Windows. Our project name was myanaap. Okay, sorry, yeah, so this is the right project. So here we have a source. In source we have an app, and this app contains a root app, as I told you previously. This is a root component. So that every component in Angular will have 4 parts. The CSS, which will tell how the component is designed, how it looks like. So it will contain all the CSS thing. HTML, which will contain the HTML code. Spec will contain the karma code. And now what is a karma? We will be discussing this separately in a separate video. It will be a separate video only for karma. Component.ts, this is a component. So this is a real component, and in this component we will link this component with other things like template URL. So I will say, okay, this is my template URL. Style URL, style means CSS. So this is my CSS URL, and how I can invoke this, how I can use this, by this selector. And then you can write your code here, or you can write anything you want, like you can create your JSON object or anything. We will see all those things in our next videos. Then what is this node module, this what we say app modules? So this app module, you can think a way like this is a main module where you will include all your dependencies, all your imports. So you can see as of now, you can see I have created this app component. So you can see in ng module it is added here. So whenever we will create a new component, if we are creating from CLI, it will automatically get added here. And if we are adding any import, like here we have imported a browser module from Angular, so we will add in the imports that module. And then the bootstrap app is app component. So app component will be bootstrapped. That we will see. There is a like a main.ts file which will contain these code. Okay, so this is all about like app modules. Now let me minimize the app module. Now what are the assets? Or let me go back and first cover these files, then I will come back to the source. So what is edit config file? Editor config file. So the editor config file is for the editors. Like if you want to use my project, I am changing something here, like I am making an intent size from 2 to 4. I will commit this on git, and when you will take this from git, you will clone, you will get the same configuration. So like most of the editor use this file. So it's not a universal, like everything will use, every of the editor will use, IDE will use. So this is just like to make all the project, all the developers should have a same look and feel, and all those settings of the editor are same. So this is the editor config file. Then we have a gitignore. So you will see this is a very good thing about Angular. It develops this for you. So you say it's saying .idea file, like in IntelliJ you have .idea file. It's saying to ignore those. So in gitignore, whenever you will commit something in git, it will ignore all the things which is given here, like dist. This is our the temp folder where it is going to create the JavaScript for all these TypeScripts. Node modules, these are our dependencies. So we never check in these dependencies in git. Project or class path files which is there in Eclipse. So it will give you a gitignore which will include these basic things which we never commit on git. So in gitignore file, you can just add your folders which you do not want to get committed on git, like your reports, Jasmine reports, or your protractor reports. You can add those here. The next one is angular.json. What is this angular.json? So this is a configuration file for CLI, and this is also auto generated for us. And in many of the situations we won't be changing this, so this will be as is. But like if you want to do some customization, then you may need, but like I haven't never changed this file in my project. Then we will come to package.json. We already discussed the package.json readme. This Angular will give you some brief description about this project. You can just go and see whatever things are there. ts.config. So actually I was expecting two ts.config. Okay, so these are inside source. So actually the ts.config, these are the configuration files. So this in here we will define the TypeScript compiler. So how you want to compile your TypeScripts. So actually these are two files. So whenever you will go into the source, you can see here this is tsconfig.app.json, tsconfig.spec.json. So the app.json will contain the compilation what we say commands, or the compilation settings for your application, for your app, for your ng app. And tsconfig.spec, this will contain the settings, the compilation settings for the test, like for protractor or any other test tool you're using. So these are the two files which we have here. Then we have tslint file which will be in the last. So let me minimize this source, tslint. So now what is tslint? So it's just like what we can say, it's a tool to check whether you're writing good, your formats are good or not, you're writing your code in a good given way. So we have a PMD, I think, in Eclipse, which just checks all those things, like your code should be formatted properly. You should not be using like there should be a gap after a double slash comment, all those things. So I can show you something in this. So like we can change some parameter, or we can just see one of the things. let's say quote mark. It's saying quote mark should be true and it should be single. So here the tslint is saying that I can only use a single quotes here. Okay, let me challenge this thing. So let me close all other files. Let me close other files and go to any ts file. Let's say this ts file, and here I'm using a single quote. Let me see what happens when I'm using a double quote here. Now I just changed the single quotes to double quotes and I saved this. Now it is giving me an error. It's saying double quotes should be single. So all these settings you can do in your lint file and tslint file. Let me change it back so I won't get any error. Okay, now what's inside here, inside the source folder? So inside source folder we have something called assets. So what we keep in assets? So in asset we will keep all our images, like if you have some images or you have some other what to say uh, other images or the banners or any icons. So all those things you can keep here in your assets. Now in environment, so this is like if you want to maintain your environment variables like prod, and any you want to use the variables you can use here. So this will be environment specific file. So if you have like prod, you have dev, you have test, you have acceptance, so there will be like multiple files for each and every environment. Browser list. So this browser list is a configuration file for targeted browsers, like okay, in which browsers we want to run the code, and then we will change our polyfill according to it. So it's just like a configuration for browsers. Then we have favicon icon. So this is like very simple, like every website has their own icon. So if you want to keep your own icon for your website, you can keep it here. Index.html we already discussed previously. This is the like this is the root of your this project. So this will be the one which will contain your root app module. So let me open and show you. Let me close this. Root app module, and you will see as eventually you will develop your Angular project, you will see everything will be added here on the top, like ref link and all those things, but everything will be coming automatically here. So you do not have to manually update this, and there are very less chances you have to come manually here and update this file. Then we have karma.conf file. So this will define the karma, the JUnit you can say for components. So the best thing about Angular is a component based. So let's say you have 3 pages, and on the third page you have a component, let's say call it address component, and you want to test that component. So previously in our, like if you have a JSP application and you want to test on the third page, you have to navigate to the third page. So you will invoke your application, you will log in or do something, navigate to that page and then test that component. But here by using karma, you can directly invoke that component, you can check your validations or whatever you want to do, and you're done with your unit testing. So this is a great thing. That's why whenever we will generate a component, it will automatically generate a spec file for us, and all these spec files are meant for testing. Then going next, this is main.ts. Okay, so this you can think of like a main file of our application, where we will define like, so like a main method in Java. So your compiler will come here, or let's say your starting point for the application, where it will get the app module, where it will get all the files to compile. So I think by default it uses git compiler, and you can give your bootstrap module here, which is the app module in our case. So this file will be invoked first, and then it will compile, and then it will call your app module, and your application will start. Polyfill. So polyfill, like in very top view, if I will say, this is for the cross browser compatibility. Like if you're developing something on Chrome, and it should be working on IE or Firefox also. So you can do those configurations here. And I don't think like you will be using much of this because they have already done this in Jones.js and Code.js. So these two things mainly take care of it. But yeah, if you are using some specific browser and you're building some component which is not working on that browser, in that case you have to come here and you have to change this. Now styles sheet. So as we have seen, we have these style sheets per component. So each component like app component has its own style sheet. But what if you want to make something globally? So this style sheet will give you the uh, power to incorporate anything which you want to do on a global like application level. So all the application level CSS you can keep here. Test, this is used for testing. So it's a configuration for that. We will see like in detail these things in our next videos. Then what we have else, I think we are done. So this is test config. We already covered this, we already covered this, we already covered this. This is tslint. Yeah, so I think here we should stop in this video, and in next video I will show you how to add a component in Angular, and we will make it like we will take these components from the website and we will try to incorporate in this website. Okay, yeah, sorry, I think I'm missing this E2E. So this E2E is like, if you guys are aware of Selenium or UI automation. So the Selenium is a tool which is used for Java application, and the protector you can see here is a tool used for Angular application. So there is nothing difference between Angular and the Selenium and protector. At the base, protector is using a Selenium WebDriver. So you can think protector as a JavaScript wrapper around the Selenium WebDriver. Only the difference I have seen is like in Selenium, they don't know whether the page is already loaded or not. So you have to put some hard weight to get your page loaded. And sorry, if you don't know about anything about automation, you can skip this part. We can come on back on this. And I have also created pretty videos on protector. You can go, and if you want to look into deep these things, you can look there. So yeah, so I was saying like in protector, it has something called angular wait. So it can wait and it can sense the two-way data binding in Angular, and it will wait for Angular page to load, and then you can start your testing. So let me show you. Just I'm trying to run this test case, this UI test case. So let me go to my terminal. Let me terminate this server which is running here, and I will start this test. So how I can test this? I can just say npm run e2e. So if I will say npm run test, it will run the JUnit test cases. If I'm saying npm run e2e, it will invoke the UI test cases. Again, the guys who don't know what is UI testing, this is just like automating your browser to go and click on certain things and validate your scenarios. So this will take a couple of seconds. So let me start this and see. Okay, so now it is building your Angular application. It will start your Angular application on a port. It will invoke the browser. It will open your application, and it will do the test cases. And what test cases it is going to do, I will show you. Let me close all. You can see here protector. Actually, the protector.conf.js, this is a configuration property. It is saying I'm using a framework Jasmine. I will run these test cases on Chrome, and something failed. Let me see. So it's saying expected text should be welcome to first application. It should be welcome to my app, but it is welcome to, oh, so this is the thing we changed here. So if you guys remember, previously it was showing me welcome to your myanaap, and then we changed to welcome to first application, application. So it failed there. What test it ran, I can show you. I can go to protector conf in source. I have this test case. So you can see the describe is like feature. You can write a feature and then it are the scenarios. And here it was navigating to page, and then it was expecting something called like welcome to ng app. So I can pass this scenario. I can just copy whatever is coming here. Like now it should show this. So I will just copy paste it here. I will save this and I will try to run this again. Let me change something more. Let me add a weight here so that you guys can see that the page is coming. No, I have to, okay, let it be. We are running bit out of time, so I will be just showing you, it will be passing. So if you want to go more deep, if you want to do a more deep dive into this, you can see my other videos where I covered this protractor testing, end-to-end testing in bit deep. And this is very good thing about Angular. When we set up this project, it gave us both UI testing plus karma testing, JUnit testing. So you do not have to build like in separate, like in a Java application, you will be building your own JUnits, then you will be using Selenium to write the UI test cases, and you have to set, and the setting of the project is like very tedious. It will take too much time. So the best thing about Angular is you can see it open this page and it will navigate to the website, but it will be too fast for us to see. But you see now it's saying it succeeded. So that's all about this setting up the Angular project and seeing the various part of this project. In next video we will try to add one component and we will see how components are added here. Please do subscribe and like the video, and please do comment if you want to see something in more detail, so I will try to create those videos for you. Thank you.